Hello and welcome to the 4th episode on Nintendo Podcast System with me, Matthew, and joining me is Gawny, Sam and Jason.
Hello!
Hello!
Alright. I think I have no story to go on for the start.
Nothing at all.
No, nothing. It's just nice.
No news. Good night.
That's it, we're off.
Yeah, but there's normally like a little bit before main news section. I guess it's just a nice Wednesday. Recording
Nice
this.
Wednesday.
20
It's a
seconds.
beautiful day.
Yeah, 22nd of
week.
April.
How is that nice?
Yeah. Let's just move on to the news section. This is a new section now. Like the rest of the podcasts. Anybody got big news stories?
Sam?
Always me. Always It's pick a on routine me. now. You're first. No, I haven't got any. Nothing in particular news.
No.
Obviously, we're going to talk about it in a bit, but Mewtwo's here, and I suppose the other thing is there's possible data to support that Ryu might be a new character coming
As well as Roy.
Dear.
from Street Fighter.
Yeah, but they just heard a bit of the music and that was it, wasn't it, really? There's no...
Yeah.
I mean... Paper
I'm not
Mario's
going to believe
got
anything
music.
until a definite confirmation from Nintendo themselves. I'm just Yeah.
Mm.
saying. But fingers crossed. You
What-
never
what
know.
would you
It'd be
think-
something interesting?
What do you think about Ryu being in the game, though? What do you think he would work well?
It'll be weird, but it could potentially work well, especially since he's from Final Game himself.
Mm.
And in terms of DLC characters, you know, people outside of Smash Bros. And Nintendo in general go, oh, that's Ryu. And therefore they would buy the DLC to play as Ryu.
And they did
Sure.
Snake from Metal Gear Solid last in Brawl, so
Yeah.
It's a little bit different, but yeah, it's...
Yeah.
Is it to try and get some of the hardcore fighting game players into Smash kind of thing? I think that's the whole sort of idea I had with it. But
possibly.
Yeah, possibly. And plus, like, Nintendo and Capcom have been pretty close lately, haven't they? So,
indeed,
make a lot of
I
sense.
don't have any problem with. It's kind of like two ways for me. I mean, I've already said before that if they're going to add new characters, I don't personally want to see more third-party characters because I would like Smash Brothers to stick to their Nintendo formula.
Mm.
You know, I don't mind a few special guests, but when they start adding too many third-party characters, that formula starts kind of fading a little bit. But
I would say at most,
as
like,
the character,
Indeed.
as the character, then I'm pretty okay with him. You know, there could be much worse third-party characters they could have added. So,
like, Super Meat Boy, for example.
good lord.
yeah, we did see that.
That would be the worst.
I personally do not want to see Rayman. Please do not do Rayman.
Well, there's been a few
no,
others
that won't be.
mentioned. I mean, Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, that's been mentioned. Alternate costume for Duck Hunt. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what we said before. But it's
yeah.
in
Banjo's
terms of
a pretty popular choice.
moveset, there's a lot of potential you could use there.
And plus, a lot of people do want him, so,
Yeah.
you know. And I think, like, in terms of third-party off consoles, I think some indie titles should be represented, but I think the furthest it should go is with Shovel Knight or Shantae.
Yeah.
So those are probably like the only popular indie titles that have been close with Nintendo.
Yeah, you're right.
As it stands, Shovel Knight is currently not a third party
Yeah.
because it's not coming from another system.
And they've just been announced for PlayStation and
Yeah.
Xbox as well. Maybe?
That would be third party to them kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah,
you know,
because, like,
not
Shovel
having
Knight's-
Nintendo exclusive, then yeah, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind Shantae being on there either, even though I haven't played any of her games.
It would again. It's one it would work well.
Yeah. But in terms of the fact that it's, I think it could happen because it's been proved correct. Like, it's in the files.
Yes. Yeah.
So, we'd never know really. So
Yeah.
I'm not putting any hopes up, so that's just. I'm just gonna let it roll how it rolls.
On the topic of DLC, the 7 new tracks as well as 2 other vehicles were shown off for Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, they do look pretty tasty.
Easyland.
I think they've shown
Easyland.
a bit more than that now.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's 3 characters, 8
yeah,
tracks, and 4 vehicles.
yeah.
Yeah, we already knew that. It's the same as the first pack.
Yeah. Keeper. Yeah, I think the tracks look very exciting this time round.
Baby Park. Oh.
Yeah, no, that looks exciting. But I think my favourite is probably going to be Big Blue.
Big Blue. I love the music, definitely.
I love the music, but I also love the course design. I don't know why, but it just looks glorious.
Mm. And the cheese track as well. Look
Cheeseland from GBA.
quite promising as well. So.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
actually
also
quite
one-
glad they brought back the Cheeseland and Ribbon Road because
Ribbon Road looks
I
amazing.
never really. I've got the Game Boy Advance Mario Kart Super Circuit, but I never really played it a lot. It's probably like one of the only games I didn't get gold cups and everything, and so I don't know. Maybe around that time I was too busy playing other games. I wasn't really heavily into Mario Kart. But it's nice to, I'm going to be able to race on these tracks, which I didn't really get to race much on back then.
Mm.
Fair enough.
It's always good to go back to them sometimes. And
Yeah.
the way they've enhanced them on each level as well. They've done
Oh,
so
Ribbon
well
Road
with
looks
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm quite looking forward to the Animal Crossing ones, the normal
Yeah,
one, and then
of
the
course, every normal human being would be looking forward.
oh yeah,
What do you think about the vehicles as well? I think the P-Wing vehicle looks really cool.
there's a little beetle buggy thing, isn't there? The Streetle.
Yeah, the
Street
Streetle. And then
And then there's the little scooter, isn't there?
That looks adorable.
There's
Really does.
there's like a really sort of sports car type one called the P-Wing. That looks really awesome.
Yeah, that's what I just said. And then
The Bowser bike.
Yeah, the Bowser
Well,
bike.
I
it
say
just has
trike, actually.
Yeah.
It's got 3 wheels.
that looks pretty cool
That
as well.
looks the beast.
I don't think I mentioned the 2 new tracks. There was Subway.
Super Bell Subway and Wild Woods, I think.
They look great for new tracks, in my opinion. Like especially the Subway one. Because
Yeah, that did look good.
I did like the graffiti on the side, which had all the original like Nez Mario all over it. That was pretty cool. I know.
Well, have you seen Game Explained's analysis of Wild Woods though?
Not yet. No.
No.
It's so brilliant because they pointed out on how everything was connected in that world,
Okay.
like because they pointed out not only how the track works, which is quite diverse, but they also pointed out how the villages work as
Right.
well. And when you're going up, because you know how the starting line is starting on anti-gravity,
Okay.
because it's on a tree, they pointed
Yeah.
out that Toads and Shy Guys are watching from looking down at you and up from the side, and they got up there from an elevator, which
Okay.
came itself from a village which has been connected by paths and stuff.
Ah.
So it looks really cool. Just seeing how everything was connected in that one. That looks really cool for a track in general. Really.
We just can't wait. I mean, it's
And I'm glad
going to be
that.
interesting.
Yeah, I can't.
And then
wait.
with 200cc coming out as well.
Yeah. Did you see
Baby
the
Yeah.
Baby Park as well, but did you see the Mute City on 200cc?
I've not seen.
Oh yeah.
I've not actually
I've seen
seen
that.
any of the new tracks on 200cc yet.
Oh, it's crazy.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Literally just flew, like he came off the
Yeah.
bit just before the finish line. He just flew across everything else, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be
So
interesting.
It's going to be, as soon as DLC comes out, it's going to be the hunt for all of the shortcuts.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I've seen the is it the volcano level on there. They literally jump over something which is was done before.
Yeah. Of course, I love
Yeah,
it. I remember.
Like I said, there's a lot of secret routes that have now opened up because of 200cc.
It was like it was planned from the start.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it's added a new element to it to sort of refresh the game a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's going to be mental on Baby Park when we're all going to be spinning into each other. Shells only.
chaos.
Yeah,
frantic.
I did not know it was all hover mode
All
when
hover
it first got
mode,
announced.
yes.
And then when I found out it was all hover mode, I was like, oh, this is like twice as bad.
Twice as bad.
Everyone's
Bad
going to
in
be
a good
spinning
way
off
or
each other.
bad in a-
That makes cornering a lot harder as well.
And the Splatoon bundles were also announced for both North America and Europe.
Whee!
And a new commercial was made for America, which I think Ink Your Turf is the slogan
Okay.
for it. But yeah, I just wanted to comment on how Nintendo really seemed to be pushing Splatoon despite it being a new IP. Because they would normally do stuff like, especially bundles as well, they would normally do it with Mario and Zelda games. You know, but with Splatoon, they really seem to be pushing it with special editions, TV adverts, stuff like that. Splatoon, Amiibo even. So I just want to know your thoughts on just them really pushing this new IP. Really.
I think it's been pushed since the start of last year. Really, I mean, ever since it's appeared, it really has built up a lot of steam. To be honest,
Yeah.
I mean, after playing at EGX, I thought it was incredible. It's going to be a great multiplayer experience, but how much we'll be able to play local play and how much we'll be able to online play, we still don't know yet. They still haven't really announced it. Which is the problem. But
what do you think of because this is the big news recently was like in Edge magazine. This was the reason why there's no voice chat. It's because the director wanted to remove any negativity.
yeah,
A lot of people.
Happiness.
Like, I mean, I respect that they want to remove negativity, and in the way, you know, they still keep kids in mind, so they don't want any swearing and stuff. But I don't know why to move it completely, and not even as friends. It's just a bit confusing.
I think that is the sort of problem there. And I mean, if you could just voice call friends between each other, it could work well. But
Yeah.
like I've said before, if it makes the game will play better without it, I'm not that worried about it, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah, like, for me, it's not a make or break. For me. And I'm not really bothered about it. Like, if it didn't, because, well, it doesn't have it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's a bummer, but...
I think the whole idea with it is to try and play it with the gamepads alongside you, or with the gamepad, so you can see the map anyway. You can see where all your like, team are and where the opposite team are. So maybe it's just trying something different that not everyone else is going to do. I mean,
I think what we've got to remember is that Nintendo's sort of a console for families and everyone, and sort of putting in that element that could possibly tip it the wrong way could
I think
really
it's just
ruin
gonna I think it's just going to drive people in the wrong way now. In a way, because it's such a big part, and even though I don't think it's make or break, but people will see it as a make or break as because it's different from shooters. Because it has voice chat, they don't see any point in getting it.
I think it's one of those. If you give it the gameplay first and see what it's like, I think people will definitely get turned on to it, kind of thing, and go out there and buy it, kind of thing. But I can see why there's negativity around it, but at the same time,
you never know unless
until
you try it. Really.
Until you try it, you're not going to know, right? So.
Yeah.
No. I think that covers it for news. Basically, there wasn't.
Well, other than International Street Pass week as well.
Oh yeah, that was fun as well. I think I'll cover that. Well, my experience with that in the next section. So here we are on the what have we been playing section. As mentioned in the previous section, there was the Street Pass International Weekend, which I think it's still technically going, isn't it? Or
the whole
up
week,
until let's see, the 27th of April.
yeah, so it's more of a week than weekend, or at least weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
So I went to the one at Southend on Sunday, the 19th. Incredible fun, really.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was so fun. We did.
That's
Sorry for
descriptive.
repeating that, but I mean, but yeah, it was in this little arcade place, and we did a lot of tournaments. And you got a T-shirt when you won a tournament, and I got said T-shirt.
Oh, well, hey.
Yeah, I got it. This was in the America 7 tournament for battle mode, because I tried to enter as many tournaments as I can, basically, to get T-shirt. I entered Smash Bros. One I was entered Bomberman, and then I also entered the typical Mario Kart tournament. And this other Mario Kart tournament started out as Mario Kart DS,
Right.
and was set to first 3 wins, but because over half of us had to use download play, and our theory was that because we were using different models of the DS, it was really laggy, so we just switched to Mario Kart 7 instead and continued battle mode, and then it was first up to 3 wins for that. And by the end, I won, but second place was joined by 4 people.
Oh, okay.
2 wins, so it was really intense. And I don't know if I should. I think I feel a bit bad for this, but when I won, there was this kid there as well. He was alright. He was a great sport, but for lack of better terms. But when the game ended, I drew with him for first place, and he said, "Oh yes, I won one. Yeah, that's 1 point to me." And I said, "Wait, isn't it a draw? So I get a point. Therefore, I win the whole thing." And everybody just went, "Yeah, you do." I was like, "Yes."
So you won by
I felt a bit guilty.
default.
No, but I think he was alright, and I met some friends there as well.
Okay.
I hope they're listening. I don't know if I should name names. It might embarrass them, but then again, there's only about
Do it.
an odd
Embarrass your
30.
friends.
Yeah.
I met these 2 people. Probably the best friends there were Spencer and Jacob. I'm sorry, I definitely remember Spencer, and I think one other is Jacob.
I think Spencer did follow the.
Yeah, Spencer followed, so hopefully he's listening and goes, "Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed now." Yeah, so it was fun, and then another one. I can't remember his name though. He won the other Mario Kart tournament.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just a lot of fun. Like, I managed to play a lot of games that I hadn't played in a while, like Mario Kart. I just played a couple of arcade games, and it was just a lot of fun. So that's what I've been playing.
Was there a big turnout for the Southend Street Pass event?
Not as big as Street Pass London when I went in October, because at Street Pass London there was like massive group of 60 people, but at Southend there was only another 20, I would say. Probably that was probably most.
Still good size. That was
about
our average.
Especially for the venue, you know, it was near packed really, and it was really fun. I just like the setting as well. Just really fun, basically.
Well, that's what matters at the end when we do these Street Pass events.
Yeah. I just hope I go to more during summer.
Yeah, definitely.
What have you 3 been playing? Then?
Anyone want to go first, or should I jump in? Or
It's nothing new for me. Xenoblade.
Well, I'll jump in then, because Saturday we went for a bit of a Street Pass brief for me, didn't we? For 4 of us. between me, Jay, Sam, and Joe, and managed to pick up Advanced Wars Dual Strike, which I've been after for so long. Managed to pick that up for about 15 quid. So I was quite happy with that purchase. And Jay's let me borrow Chrono Trigger as well, which I've never actually played, and I've heard lots of good things about.
Yeah, I've heard a good couple of things about it.
Which is basically like an RPG sort of game, and so far I'm totally confused with what I'm doing, but it's been good. It's been interesting, but I'm quite looking forward to getting into that. I purchased the Street Pass games as well, the new ones. We've got Zombies and Fishing.
I would play them. Are they worth the $5 or?
I like Zombies. It's a good game. It's like an action sort of based game where you literally go around hitting zombies and killing them off with all your Street Pass friends. And the fishing, you literally go fishing with your friends and collect fish, like quite similar to the gardening one, maybe. But
a little, there's a little bit more technique to it than anything.
It's a bit technical wise, but they are both quite similar to some of the other games. But I think if you're really into the Street Pass games, definitely worth purchasing. I think, and if you are getting loads of hits for Street Pass week and in the future, it's definitely something extra to add to that. So yeah, pretty good. I'd recommend them.
Yeah, I've just seen this as a relatively quick. Any more?
Other than the Mario 64, I'm on to about 70, 80 stars at the moment. I'm trying to finish that off before we can carry on with anything else. I do need to go back to Metroid Prime because I sort of started that off and then disappeared completely.
I need to go back to a lot of games in my.
I'm doing a challenge with one of our other podcast friends from a different group from the bit. I'll give them a shout out. But they're doing a challenge about trying to complete as many games as they can in a year, and I thought, why not? I'll give them a go on it. And so far I'm on 6, so I thought I'd be a lot more than that. But
is it like you have to solely complete it, or do you have to start it in this year and then end it in this year?
Start it in this year and end it in this year. And when we say end, we mean we hit the credits, not as in 100%, but you need to hit the credits at least. So,
okay.
But yeah, it's a bit of fun, and other than that, not a lot else.
I'm getting slowly further into Xenoblade. I ain't got really much more further because there's so much to explore and side quests.
That's kind of the drawbacks I have with.
It's a very long game.
Yeah, that's sort of the drawbacks I have with that, like those sort of games. But I don't know. I haven't really seen it. I would like to get it, but yeah, just a lot of stuff, especially exams stuff.
Has there been anything extra?
It will take up your time.
Has there been anything extra so far going through the game yet, Jay? Or was it?
Well, I was kind of wrong when I said about it before about having 4 people. It caps up to 3 people in a party.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, it's really just been pretty the same thing. Like I said, the whole combat system does get a little bit more, I wouldn't say complicated, but as you get further in the game, there's more to it than just the basic that you start off with. And so it's starting to get to the point now where I'm actually having to use tactics than just to hack and slash. Which is actually really good. It's being some more. It's in a good way that it makes it less boring, but it's in a bad way in the fact that it means brain power.
Okay.
Apart from that,
I know really Jay's also tried. I lent him this game because he'd lent me Chrono Trigger. I lent you Star Fox.
Star Fox 64 3D, and sadly I've not been playing it that much. I had a little go on it. It does look. It actually does look a lot better than the original 64. I have played the original 64. I don't know
It is slightly graphically enhanced. Yeah,
it does go a bit smoother as well. It's a lot easier using the slide pad that we've got on the DS than the control stick on the N64, bizarrely.
Other than that,
I still need to play a bit more of that. I haven't got back to it yet.
I'm trying to finish Inazuma 11 because I found it a bit tough recently. On one match I had to redo it 3 times because it was a bit tough. But still a bit enjoyable. Though I feel guilty because I have yet to finish Majora's Mask 3D. Because like the thing is
that's terrible. You should have finished it by now.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've reached the boss, right? So I've reached the final Majora, but I want to finish it with Fierce Deity. So I want to go back and collect all the masks.
Yeah, you've got to do it.
Yeah, but because they're a bit like iffy, not because they're side quests, of course, but I don't know which ones to do. I don't want to take too much time. I may have to resort to using a guide.
Okay.
And whenever I use a guide, it sort of brings me away from the game. And stuff like this, so
it's Majora's Mask is that type of game where it is very time consuming for a first player.
Yeah.
And I have to keep stressing this out to everyone who hasn't played Majora's Mask before. If I've gone out and got Majora's Mask 3D, the one thing I have to keep stressing out is when you play through the game, talk to everybody, because everybody in the game has some type of link to something. Yeah. And the more people you talk to, the more things link up, and the more things become more understandable on what you need to do to get to this specific, to get what you want, basically.
I noticed that as well.
And when it comes to collecting all the masks, for a first-time user, you have got a long road ahead of you.
It's a really good challenge, definitely.
You need to find the clues to find where these masks are.
Yeah.
For me, it's easy because I already know the routine, so I can do it within a day. But for a new user, it's a long road.
There was some slight changes on the new version in placement of some of the masks on there, wasn't it? Or were they exactly the same?
There's many differences. For example, in Clocktown, where the clock is behind the clock, it's much bigger now. There's much more space behind the clock tower, and there's the bank guy who can bank all rupees to.
Oh, they moved.
He's now behind the clock tower, as he used to be around the alleyway on the
like the left hand side,
the
right hand side. Sorry, yeah.
On the West Street.
Yeah,
he used to be there, but now nothing's there now. So he's moved. I don't know why they moved him there. I don't know if it's just because he's easier to find there or what. He is very handy.
Because I thought you would get Fierce Deity just automatically. I thought it was pure canon. You would get it eventually. Like you got the Deku scrub mask as well as Goron and Sora masks.
No.
But I didn't know it was tied to a side quest sort of thing.
You have to get all the masks.
So
it's understandable because seriously, you can kill the last boss without him.
But I found it quite difficult to do so. Really.
But with the Fierce Duty mask, it's a face roll. It is complete, utter, easy peasy. If you die, then you've got serious issues. You've got something wrong, because there's no way you can fail at killing him with a Fierce Duty mask, which is probably why it is such a long road to even get the mask in the first place.
Yeah, so
it's pretty understandable.
I was talking about this with Spencer on the train home. I was a bit underwhelmed with Majora's Mask, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's still a good game, but I don't know, it's just something really didn't connect with me. It's just not as disturbing. It's just weird, but it's not as weird and eerie, so to speak,
I think
as I wanted it to be.
Yeah, when people say that, I think they always compare it to Ocarina. And because of that, it is a darker game than Ocarina, but maybe one of the darkest in the franchise, you could argue, but
yeah, but
it's not as dark as some other games you get elsewhere. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, even so, I don't really play other games because I don't have money to afford them yet. But in terms of Zelda, you know, calling it the darkest game in the franchise, I would agree with that. But even so, it's not greatly. It's just
the way you interpret it.
Yeah, you shouldn't really, you know, get Majora's Mask expecting to be playing like a horror game. It's
oh no, I
it's
wasn't
not that
expecting
far.
it like a horror game, but I don't know. I just felt a bit
Expecting more from it, kind of.
Yeah,
thing,
I don't know what it is, but it's just I don't know. That's why I sort of prefer Ocarina of Time because it's just more epic, even though how everything is structured and stuff. Majora's Mask it could actually have the upper hand, but in terms of the actual setting, and I think that's one of the most important things about a Zelda game is how epic it feels. It doesn't feel very epic, especially for a 3D Zelda. You know, I wasn't really feeling that with Majora's Mask. So
I think
that's fair enough.
It's kind of like Ocarina of Time. Okay, for me, the reason why I like Ocarina of Time out of all of the other Zelda games is because it feels like it's got the best formula for a Zelda game. You know, that's how a story of a Zelda game should play it.
Yeah.
The second thing is it has that adventure feel to it. You know, the progression.
Yeah.
The progression that you
Mask,
get, you feel like a really, you know, nice progression into it. Majora's Mask kind of cuts a little bit short with that because essentially you've only got 4 dungeons. So when you get halfway through the game, it doesn't really feel like much of an achievement because you go, "Oh, I've done 2 dungeons."
There's much more focus
half the game
on the like mini games and mini interactions.
Yeah, but
than the full game.
it doesn't click in. That's the
maybe sometimes that.
I don't think it's that. I think it was just like the dungeon design in general. I think because you had all the different abilities with the mask and stuff, I thought that was cool. But
yeah,
I just didn't like how it was used for. Like you would be using them all the time, and you didn't really get to spend time with just Human Link. You know, so that's. I think the last dungeon was probably the best, but even then, you know, it's like, meh. You know, like other temples I just found either just too annoying or just a bit boring.
I will pick this up again when I get a chance. I played the 64 version, but I want to get the new 3DS until I can get this game. So I want to appreciate the actual 3D on it more.
Yeah, definitely. And
I still never found out the difference.
No.
No, I tried looking up as well. I don't know. It even says they even said that there's going to be like some exclusive stuff for the new 3DS users. I don't know what that is. I don't know. I have no idea. I would like to know, but I don't know.
It's just probably the C-stick.
Yeah, no, it can't. If that, I don't know.
Like if it is, it would make sense. But I don't know.
The C-stick only just changes the camera angle. Okay,
yeah,
I can understand.
Like, that's only
without it, you wouldn't be able to look around freely as you would with normal. Which is probably where I've missed out somewhere. But I still think that they specifically meant something else, and I don't know what it is. But yeah, that's...
There we go.
You'll get to it.
Yeah, so...
Still a great game.
Yeah, so I may wait a while till I finish that. Because even with Link Between Worlds, you know, even though the dungeons were really short, and in terms of a world, you know, it was far less...
Oh, that game was amazing, especially if you played A Link to the Past. It's a real, you know, you do get the nostalgia from it because it's
but like,
you know, it's got so much
even though I
references.
didn't get that feeling of nostalgia since I wasn't even born when that came out, I still had a bit of fun because of how everything was laid out, from how you used the items now and just the general design of the dungeons in general, because you still had to think about how you use the painting mechanic and stuff. And I thought that was pretty unique and fun. But Majora's Mask, I don't know. I don't know. I just felt a bit underwhelmed, really, because everybody praised it so highly. But I don't know. I would actually say that. So, not overrated, but I don't know. It's just,
Overhyped, maybe.
I guess so, yeah. Because I was really excited when it first announced. Oh, it's Majora's Mask, finally the game that people have been requesting, and I can't wait to play it because it's been so highly regarded. But then when it came out, it was like, oh, this is pretty cool. But I've sort of seen it on videos as well, and that does kill down the hype. But
yeah.
I think it's more just to do with, at the time there was always, I won't say a war, but there was always, words going back and forth between people who like Ocarina of Time and people who like Majora's Mask. There's always been a thing, that vibe there of what was the better game, etc. And there's also the thing of not every game's for everybody. So, in this case, it's most likely the game just didn't really rub up the right way with you, which is perfectly fine, because there's no game perfect for everybody. And obviously there's going to be a lot in the other, with the whole vibe between the two groups, there's obviously going to be a huge war from people who love Majora's Mask, because Ocarina of Time had a remake, so obviously they will be itching to have a Majora's Mask remake.
Yeah.
So it's pretty normal, really.
Just something to add on to this. Did you guys see the guy who put Twilight Princess on his 3DS?
Yeah.
I was just about to mention that.
Yeah. But basically, he put it on his 3DS. He hacked into it and put it as a thing to share while street passing. And he went to the Zelda Symphony that was in London, I believe, this week.
Possibly.
Basically, everyone who street passed got this up, and we're like, "What the hell? What's this? Is this a new game?" But no, it's just one guy who hacked his DS and just really pissed everyone off. So, well, brilliant idea. Well done to him. Very
fair enough. But yeah, I think that wraps up for our
What about Sam?
What we've been playing. Well, Sam.
I'm happy. We had Zelda talk. So
What's Sam been playing?
About Sam, gosh.
Oh, right. See you later. Fuck you. Thanks, Mark.
No.
Well, everybody mentioned most of the things that I've been playing, but other than that, I gave the Puzzles and Dragons demo a go.
Oh yeah, how was that?
there's a demo for that. I'm downloading that now.
Yeah, it's come out, and unfortunately, I found it a bit of a letdown. It's
really?
basically like it's kind of like a shuffle, like Pokemon Shuffle, where you match up like.
Never mind that. Cancel download.
and basically, you after you're timed as well with each move. And then, once you let go, it starts, doing little matchups, and it makes your characters in your team attack a particular one. But, I went on the demo, loaded it up, and you can only play the Mario edition, which I thought was a bit unfair. And then, the tutorial was just so quick and just lots of waffle. I was just like, right, okay, so what do I do? And yeah, to be honest, it didn't really give me a good sense of the game. I was like, oh,
fair enough.
Okay.
That's a pity.
It's a shame, really.
Yeah.
I don't know. Perhaps I'm just basing it too quickly off of a 5-minute demo, but
maybe
you did a few stages, and it was just like.
See, I've heard mixed reviews of it. I must admit, so I don't know.
I would have liked to have tried the actual Puzzles and Dragons demo, but no, I just got the Mario. It just gave me the Mario bit. You couldn't do the other. I tried to go back and try it, but it wouldn't let me. It's only the Mario bit.
I think it is just the Mario edition that they put out as a demo, which is a bit strange, really. But
yeah,
like I said, bit of a letdown. Personally, I don't think they've given the game enough for people to really get a taste for it.
Yeah.
But oh well. Other than that, that's obviously Pokemon Shuffle I've been doing. They did the Blastoise tourney event competition thing,
Yeah.
And
7,000. I made it. Yeah.
I made it to, I can't remember, I think it was like 1,038, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've just recently they've done the Safari sections, so there's like, I think there's like 4 or 5 different Pokemon you can get on that. Still not encountered Sharpedo yet. It's quite rare to sort of come across, but I just wish they sort of changed the formula up a bit on that one, because you get the same one like 3 or 4 times in a row, and you're like, I want to catch them all, but I can't.
Yeah, but isn't that like the same formula as the Pokemon games?
Kind of.
See, it's
Kind of, but when it's a Sharpedo, come on, really? If it were something really rare, then I'd understand, but it's stupid, really.
Because Sharpedo is cool.
Probably because they'll release a Mega Evolution for that one. That's probably why it's so hard to get.
Ah, very likely. See, 2 point.
Doesn't Sharpedo have a Mega Evolution, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Does now.
Oh, in terms of Shuffle, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Probably do.
Yeah, so was that what were you?
We'll do eventually.
Yeah.
I've just beat. There's still Megas that I've beat, but I haven't actually got the Pokemon yet, and you can't actually get the Pokemon yet in the game. Or can you?
No, there's still some release.
Okay, yeah.
There was also talk this week in terms of Pokemon. There was of Flygon possibly getting a Mega Evolution in the next.
Yeah, it was left out, wasn't it? Because they couldn't get the design for it.
Yeah, for like writer's block or something. They said they blamed. So.
I'm not being funny, right? But the designs that came up with some of the Pokemon, is it really that hard?
Well, Slowbro was one of the examples.
I mean, in a way, yeah. I mean, in a way that some of the designs are just plain bizarre. It's like, really.
What's the little dude with the gems for eyes?
Sable.
Sableye. Just got a giant emerald he's just hiding behind the whole time. I just don't quite understand that.
I got a big rupee.
Yeah. But yeah, cool.
This is main.
Yeah, I think that finally wraps up for what we've been playing for the section, right?
Cool.
What?
Well, we've all been playing Street Pass.
Yeah.
I haven't been playing much different to Xenoblade, so...
Are there any games that we're looking to pick up the next couple of weeks we might be interested in?
I'm still on the fence about getting Monster Hunter. I just... I've got so much money coming out, I can't afford it.
I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared that if I get it, I'm still going to be heavily, like, pulled away by other games. For example, it's not long now till Splatoon comes out. That's going to take over completely, and it's going to push the game out. It's going to push Monster Hunter further away from me actually getting into playing it. So.
Personally, I'm going to wait for Splatoon. I don't think there's anything else at the moment apart from the DLC for Mario Kart, but
true.
That's generally going to be the next one for me.
Yeah. Cool. I think Kirby, and the Rainbow Paintbrush will be coming out in the next podcast recording round about May 8th.
Yeah, should be around then. Yeah.
We only want to get that because Nintendo's doing a thing with it with a plushie.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that finally wraps up for our what have we been playing section. So let's move on to the next section. So we're on the discussion portion of the podcast today, in spirit of the muted DLC, as well as tomorrow's, or at least tomorrow for us, the Mario Kart 8 DLC. I have chosen for this week's topic to be on DLC and Nintendo's current plans with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is the thought on DLC in the first place? Is it?
It's
Is it what we expected it to be from Nintendo?
Yeah, because
Go on.
yeah, because I think Mario Kart 8 has probably been the best in terms of DLC because you're getting more of the three main parts of Mario Kart. You're getting more characters, then you're getting more vehicles, and then of course you're getting more courses, which is a big one. And they're putting their all into the courses. They're doing about half effort into characters. If you saw last pack with Tanuki Mario and Cat Peach, you would know where I'm coming from. But yeah, in terms of vehicles, they are great as well. Yeah, and in terms of like Hyrule Warriors is a recent example that just finished up. Even though I didn't really like the fourth and final pack, the first three packs were good. They added more weapons, added more replayability, even though it may still be stale. That was decent money. Well spent, and then of course now we're getting Smash Bros DLC, and we get to fight for what character. But I don't know about stages in Smash Bros. I would like it, but I don't know. Just in general, they really seem to be getting hang of DLC now.
I think the best way to put it is, as we know, Mewtwo was supposed to be in the game from the start, but it wasn't quite finished, and maybe they just wanted to put a little bit more work into it. One disappointment I probably have with the Mewtwo DLC would be it doesn't come with any customization rules with him, which is kind of disappointing because it's like all the whole time, it's like being like 6 months or something since the game released.
Yeah,
and it took them that long just to make a generic character, then to create a character along with moves. It makes you wonder what took them so long. But it doesn't bother me too much because I don't use customization, but it's still a little bit long-winding.
Yeah,
I'd say for me, I'd say for me though, is you say that they've taken all this time to do it, but then people have experienced glitches with Mewtwo, where if they do 10-man smash, you can't go online. It glitches your game, and you're not able to go online.
This has been a big issue. I mean, we've had it in the last couple of days with an update to the 3DS as well, where not the new 3DS wasn't working properly with Smash Bros. Some of the Smash Bros. Characters.
But something like that, it's probably something that could have happened if they, no matter how long, maybe they just didn't test Mewtwo for that mode properly.
There's always going to be elements in the game, like with Yoshi and the uses eat move, and he kept getting bigger and bigger and outgrew the screen.
Don't get me wrong, I'm fully happy with the Mewtwo, to be honest. I thought that he was going to be, one of these characters that's going to either be very overpowered or very lazy kind of thing.
He's quite
there's not going to be a lot to him. Yeah, he does seem really balanced, and he does have kind of the same feel than he used to on the Melee, but he does feel smoother.
Yeah, I was going to say his movement.
When it comes to the amount of content of it, though, because obviously people are going to have to buy him instead of getting him for free if you didn't register for both systems. I still stand by what I said last time, about people who've already got both systems. They spend their money on 2 systems, so be lucky that you're getting it that cheap for a character. But now he's out, and they've also announced, obviously you've got Lucas coming, the rumour of 5 more characters up on the lineup.
Plus just Smash Bros.
That itself sounds like a good DLC pack.
Yeah.
And don't forget, they also did release the extra Mii costume pack as well. What I would like to see though is more stages.
Stages, I think.
See more stages.
I would love to see more stages.
We've still not heard anything of the Miiverse stage, have we?
Yeah, we haven't heard of that. I think that's going to be a free update, but considering
That's
how.
what they said originally, yeah.
Yeah, but I suppose not to even hear.
I don't know. Maybe they're just having troubles having it connecting to the Miiverse and stuff, and having it, carried up right. Because obviously, it's going to be connected to Miiverse. It's going to be connected to the posts, and obviously they're going to have to try and try and make it so the post will be related to the characters at that time and stuff. So maybe it's just it can be very complicated.
It really is a brilliant idea because it gets people onto Miiverse as well, trying to do more posts for Smash to hope to get that on each stage. But at the same time, you just know there's going to be so many little kids just going on there and drawing penises all the time.
I think to be honest, I think it's going to be a monitored thing. I think what's going to happen is they're going to, before the stage comes out, they're going to ask publicly,
what to include.
Do your favourite character in Miiverse and stuff. And then they will handpick a good selection of them for each character, and then that will be your stage. That's my guess on the theory of what they're going to do to prevent, the spam and stuff.
I mean, that kind of deal, added content to get something for free is excellent. Everyone loves something for free.
Yeah.
But then you go and look at things like Amiibos. Because
how much fun they are.
Amiibos are brilliant. I mean, the little models are well designed and well made. But at the end of the day, all they are either extra DLC for each game you're buying, or they're just there to get an extra item or something like that.
So that's why I sort of feel that Splatoon have sort of used it brilliantly, because
but Nintendo's doing it as well, remember? The demos?
Yes, they're going to get the demos for...
They can always implement more stuff involving Amiibos. So
the amount you're getting for that, like £10 to £15 per Amiibo, you get quite a lot of content if you've already got those games.
Yeah.
Which, it's brilliant. I mean, you're paying for one price for one DLC to use on multiple games, which is fantastic marketing, really. You can't really knock it, to be fair. I mean, there can't be many other games I can think of that will give you that much content to use for extra DLC kind of thing.
It's just whatever they come up with the future.
Yeah.
We don't know. I mean, there might be some surprises around the corner once they've released, the full set of Smash Brothers one. It's like, we don't know what it's going to be at really, but I think they're doing really well.
Yeah.
In terms of their uses.
I feel in a way, I think that would be kind of stupid not to have DLC for Splatoon. Especially if there aren't enough stages for that.
But they have
I would hope so.
They have the Amiibo content on there already, don't they?
Yeah, so that's what I was about to say earlier, because only with the Amiibo you could get exclusive gear and stuff, but there's not a little bonus like in Kirby or Captain Toad or anything. It's a totally new piece of gear, and when you wear it online, it's like, oh yeah, I've got the Amiibo. Stuff like that, again, like in Mario Kart 8, but it's more expanded on in Splatoon, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm kind of gutted I'm not got the Pac-Man one, because I like the Pac-Man suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn it.
That actually probably sold much more Pac-Man Amiibo, beforehand it's the one that's in healthy stock. Pac-Man outfit is announced for Mario Kart 8. It sold out
brilliant.
The day after. Yeah. So it's things like that, and Amiibo sort of new form of DLC and yet not DLC, if you know what I mean.
It gives you added content, and you're paying £15 for it.
And plus, it's just a nice figure.
10.
11,
technically.
Well, 11 to 15, yeah. So.
Yeah. But damn DLC. I think the earliest example I know of it was with Mario Bros 2, with the coin rush.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't you remember? In Mario Bros 2, they released coin rush packs. And you could buy a good amount of money to get 3 new levels that could only be played on coin rush. And you can't play them freely. You could only play them on coin rush.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rings a bell. I can't remember.
Yeah, and then they always had a DLC for Fire Emblem as well. I think in terms of DLC that was actually okay, but I've never tried the DLC for Fire Emblem.
The only ones I can think of having DLC before, well, around about the same time as Mario Kart coming out. We had a lot of indie games that come out, which we'd had it from the PC games anyway. But there was also the Pocket Football game that I mentioned before in the previous podcast.
Oh, right. I remember that. Yeah,
you can purchase extra teams to play against on there to train your team up.
Oh,
so if you wanted to, for instance, train your side in attacking play, you can go and play against this attacking team. But each team costs like £2.50 or whatever to purchase. But that kind basically is what really annoys me massively. It's basically pay to win. Because you're paying to get that purchase to then go and improve your squad from that sort of, because you paid money for it, or you're going to get a better side. So whenever I play against people that have already done this on DLC wise, and I go and street pass them and try and play against their teams, they're impossible to beat because they've already hyped their team up too far, so I can't actually beat them any time. But
I'm pretty much the same way with DLC. I prefer DLC which gets you kind of a vanity type content where it doesn't affect
greatly.
It doesn't affect you in a way that it makes you better. In a way.
Yeah.
For example, I don't agree on. Splatoon could easily do this. I'm hoping they won't. If Splatoon decides to come up with DLC that will, gives you extra guns that no one else can get unless if you buy that. That would be wrong. I would seriously hate that. If the DLC is like Mario Kart, where you buy, the suits and stuff, Mario Kart, sorry, Smash Brothers, like suits and stuff, doesn't affect your gameplay as such. That's fine. When it comes to additional tracks like Mario Kart, doesn't affect anyone else who doesn't have it because you're not racing against them. So, when it comes to multiplayer, I would like the game to still be fair to everyone. I don't like it when some people have got stuff that other people can't get unless if they are it's forcing them to buy it just to be equal.
I mean,
so that's where I stand with DLC. Really,
there's that, and there's Day One DLC, which we haven't actually really seen with Nintendo yet. But
I don't think we've mainly seen it at all, really. But I think that
Hyrule Warriors maybe is the only one I might have had. Day One DLC.
I can't remember that Day One DLC.
There was a lot of free content with that as well, so
there was a lot of free content, but I can't remember it being exactly Day One.
No, I think it was announced. I think, but there was no DLC from launch.
Okay.
Well, I may have talked about this. This is with Fire Emblem If, because you're gonna get 2 versions, aren't you? Well, in Japan at least. But apparently what it is that, so you pick what side you're going to go on in store, is what I've heard about it, and it's not, basically, you play through the game, get the experience of both sides, and then choose. You choose what game you want to buy, then you get that. And then when you finish the game, or I think sometime you unlock the ability to purchase DLC to get the other story.
Okay. So you can only do it once you've done a certain part of the story, kind of thing.
I don't know, I can't remember it exactly, but I think it's either when you finish the main campaign on your side, or if it's right from the start, I don't know. But at some point you'll be able to get the other story for about half the price of the game.
So that's not so bad.
I don't know, because it's a bit cruel to have something that you're selling as like a big choice. Oh yeah, you have to choose what side to take, but I don't like it being versions.
I don't think that's very fair. That's saying if you want to experience inside, you've just got to pay more money, whereas it should be you buy the game and, like you say, get to experience both sides. That shouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't mind if over here we just get a single game, well, I would still mind, but I would prefer it if you still have to pay for the other side. I would prefer it not to be any two versions. I would prefer it just to be just a single version of the game. You play it up until the point that you want to get up to. Choose a side, either Nor or Hoshido. Play through that campaign. At the end, it's revealed that you can buy, for like about a $5, I would say, at most a $10 for.
It's going to be a full purchase. It's like Pokemon. It's just people are going to buy both versions just because they want both versions.
It kind of reminds me of Zelda Oracle games.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I'd say that if it's like that, then I have no problem with it. To be quite honest, because at the end of the day, they are two different games.
Oracle of Ages and something.
Oracle of Seasons.
No, but to get the true
the full game, you have to get both games, and then you link. You complete one, it links over to the second one. You're essentially, you're paying for the entire game, but they're still two separate games, and so it's. I don't see why one should be cheaper. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, like, I guess in that sense, but then again, you have to remember that the Oracle games, they both still use different mechanics, even though, like, they're more or less along the same line. It's not necessarily something that you can use both off in one game. In a way, if you see what I mean. But with Fire Emblem Eve, I feel like you could easily have both versions in one game. And
definitely.
Yeah.
But they've done it in previous versions of Fire Emblem, so I don't see why they would need to have two separate versions. I don't understand.
Yeah, but it just drawing the fact that it's a bigger choice, but ironically enough, I think that choice is a bit faded now if you have to decide what version you get, because it's not a special. It's like, I'm stuck with this group.
This to me just seems like that they've spent more money on this Fire Emblem game and that they need to get a return on it, kind of thing. So the best way to get a return on it is to release two games. That's the only thing I can really think of.
I think it would just be best to wait for it to come out, or at least have more announcement on it, because as far as I can pick up from it, I think there's some miscommunication somewhere. And we're getting mixed information kind of things.
Well, I don't think it's mixed information, but I think
it's very hard to judge.
This is at least the case in Japan, at least. So I hope this isn't going to translate over to here, but don't know. So I don't really like DLC being used in that way.
How do you like DLC being used? That's the.
I don't know, like...
I've just realised that from what I said about, I only like DLC, which still allows everyone to be equal.
Yeah.
I kind of guess that means I don't like where Smash Brothers is going with it.
What do you mean?
Not sure.
In a way that...
Kind of, but...
It entirely depends, because I do not know if the characters they're going to bring out are going to be paid DLC. If they are, then I won't like it, because then that goes against what my opinion about, having everyone being equal. You've got people who don't have the DLC with people who do have the DLC going against, playing on the same game as, against each other.
Well, I'm sure that they must sort it out that you'll already be paired with characters that have this DLC, but I don't think it's mainly a massive problem if one character has...
I wouldn't say massive, but it would just be a huge downfall if for example, if the 5 characters are confirmed, that there's going to be 5 more characters added to the roster. If one of them is overpowered, that's an instant disadvantage to people who don't have the DLC.
Yeah, but then again, what will happen is that... well, it's not a direct solution, all that would happen is that they're nerfed, and generally in this installment, of course there are some characters that are upper tiers, but if one is incredibly overpowered, that'll mainly be down to their skill and not necessarily the character, in a way.
But then we've got to remember that Diddy was considered low, a top tier character, and now they've dulled him down a bit. He's
Yay! Sorry.
not as
I hated
Yeah.
the fact that he was high. I was like, really?
well,
Everyone's banging on
he's
about
really
it.
been brought down, like both speed and follow up and power of certain moves. So that they can see it was causing too much of a problem. So
Yes,
even if we do get these moments where we're going to have characters, and like you say, there might be a character be overpowered, they are listening and making adjustments. So even though we will get these things like in DLC, they can make adjustments later on with patches. So it's not totally the end.
Fighting games has always had that, though. We're so far in online sort of basis, they've had a lot of patches happen quite often with these. And it changes.
The thing I like what they're doing is the fact. Yeah, the thing I like is that these characters wasn't planned from the start. Or maybe it was planned to add more characters, but it doesn't feel like that the characters were already there and they ripped it out just to get a little bit more money for DLC.
Do we feel happy paying for each character separately, or would we rather have it as a bundle for a cheaper
I wouldn't mind bundles, but it depends on when it's
I think I'll
released,
do
because-
both.
I don't know, because we'll get Mewtwo next week, aren't we? Then we get Lucas in June, so I think that's a bit too much of a gap unless characters are going to be released relatively closely to each other. Like,
See, the reason I can see for that is they're probably still testing on Lucas, because if Mewtwo was sort of
obviously.
ready near the end of the first release, and then
That's probably why Mewtwo took so long to get out, because they're
Yeah.
also working on Lucas. I didn't think about it.
yeah, and possibly other
Possibly.
DLC even.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe.
I think when I answer this question, it goes back to the previous podcast. For me personally, I don't mind because I can afford to probably pay for these things. But we got to think of these people who don't have the money to splash out on buying all these extra
We've
characters.
seen that a couple of times on Mario Kart, where people haven't got the DLC and they feel when there's online tournaments with the DLC, they feel they're missing out on it, kind of thing. Yes.
Yeah, because we've got to think
at
this
least
is
the DLC
also.
doesn't feel overpriced at all.
Well, no,
Yeah.
but no,
I
but
think it's quite a fair price.
not
but
everyone
especially
can
Mario
pay
Kart.
for it. But
We've got to remember that kids are playing this as well, and they can't exactly keep going to mummy and daddy and going, "Mummy, daddy, I want to buy this. Give me money." It's not always possible.
Yeah.
Well, why is I'm knocking on the kids?
Some of us are spoiled, Jason.
But okay, so just to try and stray away from this debate about DLC, there's one thing I did want to bring up about the Mario Kart DLC.
Right.
You know, now this is the second and last pack that we know of.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of questions actually. So this is the first one. Do you think there's going to be any more DLC after this one?
It's possible.
Well, I don't reckon there will.
I'd like to see more.
I'd like to, but you got to think
that's up to them.
you got to think this game's been out for a year in June. It's done really well to still be keeping people interested, I think. But Mario Kart's Mario Kart. People always play it, but it's
and
How far the
especially
winners
after
go.
especially after these DLC packs, they seem even more packed. But though I feel people won't see as complete until there's a proper battle mode with proper battle maps.
That's what I was going to go to next. I would like to see the next DLC to be a pack of battle arenas at least.
I think if quite honestly, if there's going to be any more DLC, I'd rather it be battle mode, even though I don't play battle mode that much. I just want to see people happy.
unless you win T-shirts
That's all.
for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just want them to bring the battle mode up because that is the only thing that disappointed me about Mario Kart is how they forced the new gaming mechanic on us instead of giving us the choice.
yeah.
They should have, gave us the choice whether
Can-
to do it on tracks or do it on arenas, but no, they've thrown it all out and gone, no, you're on tracks.
Maybe
Stuff
that's
yeah.
some. Sorry, Sam. Come.
I was gonna say I literally went into it and I was like, "Where's the battlefields? Where's the arenas?" And I literally was like, "Oh, I've got to go around a track."
And then
I was
there's the
so
question.
disappointed.
And then there's a question on what's the chances that Baby Park's not going to be put into one of them? I'm sorry, but Baby Park will make the closest arena type track for battle mode.
Well, of course, but I mean, you know, if they're gonna bother, because I think the biggest problem with the battle mode is the fact that its courses are not battle arenas. I think that's the biggest problem, not how
if
battle
they're
mode is
too
played out.
long to find someone to
Yeah.
battle them.
I just find it awkward. You know, you're either going backwards or forwards. There's no
There's no
diversion
left,
or anything.
right,
It's just you either
take a
go
tactical turn.
clockwise
Yeah,
or anti-clockwise.
Yeah.
And hope that you hit people on the way. But
And also, I would like a coin battle to return as well, because that's what we would always play.
isn't
Mario
it?
Kart Wii.
Isn't
And I
there
hope
coin
that
battle?
you could go past 10 coins.
There was in one.
Because you could go up to like 20 and probably even more than that in Mario Kart Wii, and then you'd only go up to 10 maximum in Mario Kart 7, which seemed a bit stupid. So I hope coin battles will be a thing. I don't mind if they remove it from the courses. I just want just typical coin battles to return.
Bob-omb Battle. Oh, that was a hell of fun.
Exactly, like just get stuff like that returned.
Bob-omb Battle. That was well fun. And so it brings me to the next question of, if they were going to do it, what old battle arenas would you like to see return?
Ooh.
I quite like
I'd like
Funky Stadium from Wii, because like that's the one we would always play battle mode on. You know, and that and Block Plaza, I think it was.
Yeah,
we
I
would
know
always
what you're on
play
about.
on that one
I like the pipe one.
from DS. Or,
I think it was GameCube.
GameCube.
Yeah,
Double
GameCube.
Dash.
Was it?
Yes.
oh,
Double
but I
Dash.
think it was on DS
yeah.
as well. DS
It
as
was
well.
brought back on DS, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't play
Yeah,
the
yeah,
battle
I
mode
quite- I
on
quite like
DS.
that
I didn't
one, that
like
was-
how you had to blow up your own balloons.
Oh
I'd
yeah, that was
personally
a
like
bit
to
weird.
see ones from
It
the
was annoying.
SNES, from the original Mario Kart. Like it's just a great big stadium with red, green, blue, and yellow sections.
Yeah,
Just to
yeah.
keep it simple.
Oh, was it like really square with the like square walls kind of thing?
And then the water bits in the middle, in each section. That was quite funny.
And of course the one on top of the GameCube and the top of the DSs are quite cool as well. I do like them ones. So.
I'm sure I
I should do
remember a
one on
couple in
top
the
of the, Wii
GameCube
Pack.
one where the stage tilted. I can't remember.
I
that
don't
kept
think the
everyone on their
GameCube-
toes.
No, I think I know what he's on about. There was a stage like that where things started rolling across. I can't quite put my head on it. But I know what he's on about, but I can't quite think what stage it was. I remember playing on the stage and everything was going, whoa.
That was a good one. That one really kept you on your toes.
I would like to see Skyscraper again. I know it was on the Wii, but Skyscraper was a really fun game, arena on the N64, and I know it's returned on the Wii, but I want to see it again because it's a really fun stage. And the
How much?
Yeah,
how
just
much
the-
would you pay for it? If you had to pay for it.
Depending, it really depends on how many they're going to bring out.
Okay.
So it's very hard to judge. I can't just put a price on it because whether they're going to do it or not, we don't know, and whether how many arenas they're going to put into a pack, that's still unknown. Okay, how much was like just the one pack for one of the Mario Kart packs?
£7 or £11 as a.
And that was for what, 8 tracks? One pack with a few characters and things. I would say I would be happy to pay about £5-6 for a good handful of arenas. Hopefully. I actually think it should be paid DLC just for the fact that I feel that it could have been there from the start. It should have already been there. They shouldn't have forced us with the track. But I will be happy to pay a minimal price for that DLC. If it's well, okay. The arenas that they choose, and obviously, I would like to think they'll release 8. 4 old ones, 4 new ones. I'll be happy to pay £7 for that.
Okay. Cool.
As long as they're good. Which
I think it's pretty good value, to be honest. I mean, you pay the same as you would.
As long as they're good.
As long as they're good.
Better be.
as long as they're good.
Standing there at Nintendo's door threatening them. They better be bloody good!
I am doubting at the fact that because I don't think none of the first pack made it onto the battle selection either, did they?
No.
None of the new tracks from pack 1 were used for battle. And
No,
I
they
think the
weren't.
same is going to apply for this one, and it's a shame because Baby Park would have been a good. I would have sufficed with that one. But I think we're going to get enough of that just by racing itself, so.
Oh, yeah.
Quite honestly, what I want is that the ability to change how many laps you do, and also just smaller things like that. Like, decide
I
what
don't mind
items
too much.
choose.
I do like the idea of having more flexible options.
That's more of an update than DLC.
Yeah, that's the thing, but
Yeah.
even
More
so,
of a patch.
200cc is an update, so...
True.
You
Very
know,
true. Would you have paid for that?
I don't know.
Baby
Like,
Park does have 7 laps though, so that it's not just 3 laps, which is good.
yeah, but
Well, that's a little bit different for Baby Park because of the size of it. And it was originally 7 laps anyway, wasn't it? But I can understand what you're saying though, Jay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think with being able to select how many laps you can do, it'd be a lot easier for like online play and things like that as well. Or if you wanted to do a massive 50-lap race on Yoshi's circuit, yes, you do. Yes, you really do.
I wouldn't mind. Like, no, just to do a live stream, just nine, possibly max lap count, just do every track. You know?
Yeah.
Like, for the live stream sort of thing. I don't mind that, but I would just like little things like removing, or at least having the ability to remove certain items from appearing, like the coins. You know, so you know,
Blue shell.
Remove the blue shell.
or you could only have, you know, like another some options that say, oh yeah, you could only have green shells on, you could only have bombs.
You can do that on some modes, on
Yeah, but
multiplayer modes.
it's not.
You can do shells only and things like that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You can't mix match. Really, you can't have green shells and red shells and bananas.
No, you can't choose.
Yeah, it's not like item
Yeah,
switch
exactly.
and smash.
That's what I want to do. I want to do like item switch, like in
That'd be a good idea. Yeah,
Session
I'd
Bros.
be quite happy with that. Yeah.
Or at the very
Or
least,
blue
remove-
shells. Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Just want to be like 20
That's
lightnings
so
in a row.
horrible.
That would be awful.
Everyone will be stuck at the starting line because everyone's blowing each other up.
I wouldn't mind that actually. But yeah, I would just like little updates for Mario Kart 8. But in terms of DLC, I think Nintendo are really getting the hang of DLC. They are
So
being-
far, they've done a really good job of it. We can't really knock them.
I
It's
fe- the
especially
thing I
in
like
Meat Boy.
about it though is that it's add-on. It's not necessarily they're doing it for games that can use DLC easily. So, for example, like a Zelda game. You know, they aren't fitted to have DLC, so therefore they won't do DLC for that.
you can just see costume
hoping
changes coming for Zelda. I mean, you could if you get to ride a opponent,
Yeah, but
you
even
won't
then that's a
bet
bit odd for costume changes for Zelda. You know,
I
even
just
that's a bit
don't want
odd.
them
You're
to get a little
we're
bit over
so
TT
getting-
with the DLC.
We're
Yeah.
so getting a unicorn opponent.
Ish. Yeah, but
Actually, I would hate it if I bought a Zelda game and then it's like, oh, to do this dungeon, you got to pay for it. It's like, no,
What's that?
really.
You can get an N7 Mass Effect suit for Link now, and it's been in every other game. So
yeah, exactly. So, like, I don't really know what the problem is now, but with DLC on like other consoles, because I don't have them really. But the main problem is what I'm getting is that they've been washed, so therefore there has to be DLC to unlock.
on most other consoles, the only time I actually purchase DLC is story based stuff. There's something extra in terms of single player
like-
campaign modes or things
Yeah,
like that.
you extend
like-
the gameplay.
That's why
Not
I
in
think
terms of anything
Bayonetta-
else.
I think Bayonetta 2 could be good for DLC, like in terms
Yes.
of new levels, because I think that fits quite well. And New Super Luigi U, that actually started out as DLC.
Yes, yeah.
I bought it as a hard copy, but yeah, you
so,
can buy it digitally as DLC.
You know, I think it'll be just nice to. It's just nice that they're embracing DLC, and I just hope they implement it further.
At the moment, they're doing it right. They're not pushing it too much, but at the same time,
not too much. But I think like the next game, and the next game for a while in a way would probably be Splatoon.
And to be fair, the DLC that has come out has been quite excellent quality. That's the thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, especially Mario Kart, as already said. So, any final thoughts other than that, or
more free DLC, please?
We've already done that.
Everyone wants everything for free.
Yeah.
I'd probably say I'd hope to see more, like they take more feedback, like with the Smash ballot.
Yeah.
That is what I would like to see. Just
yes, Mario Kart. If you listen to this.
Yeah, exactly.
Arenas.
So, people do want battle mode, and people aren't going to be happy unless they get battle mode. And if you put time and effort into battle mode, people will get battle mode. I've said that about 3 times in one sentence.
It's a good idea. I guess I am disappointed that we don't have it, but it is kind of a good idea bringing it out.
Yeah.
Eventually, because then by the time they come out with the DLC with the arenas, people will then be drawn back into Mario Kart because by then people will be bored of the new DLC and whatnot. Well, it's not so new then. And it's going to pull a lot of people towards the battle mode online. It's going to be a whole new different game.
Is that another problem with DLC though? It's giving you more focus on an old game you're playing rather than going out buying new games.
I don't know. Because I think that's
At the moment it's a good thing for Nintendo because of the fact that there's not actually a huge amount of new games, big games on launch this year, especially with Zelda being pushed back.
Yeah.
So
Splatoon is the only one.
Splatoon is going to go a long way. To be honest, I think that's got a good chance of
and to push it to the full potential. As I said, DLC may be an essential. But
DLC does keep the games going, and so it's
nice to get something extra once you finish the game. You can go and
going by what you said, Jack, about story games.
Yeah,
I think DLC story games. I like that only to the point where, as long as the game itself without the DLC doesn't feel unfinished.
Yeah.
Doesn't have like an awkward ending or anything. It's like doesn't give the right ending. Then you got to buy the that's what I hate. If it's like a full extension of a game that does feel like it's completed or whatever, that's totally fine.
Yeah,
because then you don't feel you missed out anything.
Yeah.
Cool. That's it.
Yeah. So that was our thoughts for DLC. If you want to share your opinions on Smash DLC, make sure to leave it somewhere.
So leave it somewhere.
Yeah, just leave it somewhere, like
just somewhere,
places.
on the doorstep somewhere.
I think what we need to say is, if you want to make an impression or get an effect, you need to let them know. If you just sit there and complain, nothing will happen. If you let Nintendo know, they know. It can start happening.
Keep messaging them on Facebook and Twitter. They'll read it, definitely.
Yeah,
well, don't harass them, otherwise they'll just go away.
Block.
Yeah, but to a point where everybody's starting to say something, they will listen.
Use hashtags. It works.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's it, and we just move on to our end section. Yeah, so this is the final section for the podcast. Of course, now is when we do any shout outs for anybody.
Yeah, I've got a few shout outs. I just want to say to Kieran Easter, I put a post out on Facebook about International Street Pass Week and asked what people are going to do to celebrate. And he says he's going to go and play Smash, and Pokemon Rumble World. and I was like, double smash? Just so okay. Thanks for that, Kieran.
Smash Wii U and Smash 3DS.
Yeah, maybe.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, thanks for commenting, Kieran. And everyone who's followed us on Facebook and Twitter so far, thank you very much. We do appreciate it.
Yeah. It is tough. Not immensely tough, but considering what we're doing, we're just doing it over Skype. So, you know, it is very tough, especially on me considering I have GCSEs. I can't really pay for anything fancy. So, you know, I really do appreciate support.
There was something I did forget to mention in the last section of games I'm looking to pick up. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in free, Sega 3D Classics.
Alright.
I'm definitely buying that.
Yeah, I just want to shout out, as mentioned earlier, to anybody who went to Street Pass Southend on Sunday and just
Hi Southend.
Yeah, and anybody in the Street Pass group in general, because it's a great way to meet new friends, of course.
Excellent.
Exactly, it is excellent.
If you on the Street Pass UK website, there's a list of all the Street Pass groups around the whole country. So yeah, streetpassuk.co.uk.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of what to watch.
Oh, there was one shout out for Street Pass Glasgow for following us as well, which was really random. I don't even know who runs that, but thank you, Street Pass Glasgow. We've literally followed every Street Pass group you could find, and I think they're literally the only group that's followed back. So thank you, Glasgow.
Yeah, Street Pass Sutton.
And us, of course, yes.
Yeah, got back. That's it. But it is great to have support.
Like I said, if there's anything that you want to mention for a discussion or questions for us
what you've been
answer,
playing, questions especially, I would love.
Just so we can add something else to the end of the podcast.
Or just trying to quiz us or something. You know, just ask one of us questions that they will ask the rest of the group. Test our skills.
What was the first game that Banjo was in?
Shit.
A Nintendo game.
There we go.
There you go. Oh wait.
This is a tricky
one. Don't type and find it. Whoever's doing that. Cheaters.
I'm not doing anything. Hold up.
Do you want the answer?
Go on then.
Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah, I got that.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Wait, is that actually or?
Well, yeah, that is the actual answer. Yes, he was in Diddy Kong Racing with Conker as well.
Mhm.
So there you go. Bit of news, bit of knowledge.
Ah,
but
Conker for Smash.
You want more questions like that? Oh yes, Conker for Smash. Oh, the giant poo as a final Smash.
Wow.
Yes.
Really. Wow.
We're living the dream.
You know, that was a good idea, Jack, but you've just ruined it.
Oh man.
Well done.
You could sing and everything.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just no.
Yeah, so check out the YouTube channel as well, because that's where we put all the podcasts. That's probably what you listen to now. There's a whole list of them on the playlist there for you as well, if you've missed some of the others, and catch up.
Yeah. In terms of to watch on YouTube, I'm looking at them right now. I would say GR Smash. They do a lot of top 10 lists of professional Smash Bros. Plays and just funny stuff. You know, it's very cool to see a lot of stuff like top 10 mistakes, nowadays moments and stuff. All very funny and very interesting to watch. Yeah, Sam or Jason, have anybody you want to shout out for? Or
Anyone?
Want to go first, Jay?
I'm thinking.
Well, I'd probably just, big shout out to all our Street Pass Southampton group and people who attend from in and around Southampton. Please keep coming to events, keep shouting, keep giving us information and sharing all those, gaming events and information. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you very much, everyone.
One
He
thing
said it for me.
that I wanted to do was that, in January there was the big Smash Bros tournament, UK.
Yeah.
And there was an exhibition match of 4v4, Southampton first Portsmouth.
No, didn't we say last time? That's the Dark Ages. We do not talk about the Dark Ages. What
are you talking about? That was a great smash.
No.
See, I was there.
No.
Who was winners? I think Portsmouth.
They wouldn't let me play. This is why.
I couldn't be there.
They made Neil play because he was rubbish.
Yeah, but Jack, he beat you.
He didn't beat me.
He's still undefeated by you.
I helped him survive. That's why he won.
Yeah,
he's still undefeated by you.
But what I was wondering about was that if there ever was to be one or a big Street Pass UK amazing, I feel that we've got to have Nintendo podcast system versus Street Pass UK podcast.
Yes,
it has to happen.
It will happen. We'll do it.
It has to. Like,
I'm gonna get so much hate for that.
It will be interesting. Yeah.
Well, hopefully, watch this space. But I think Splatoon should be a big one in the future.
Splatoon would definitely be a big one, but it's just a matter of getting enough Wii U's and LAN if people want.
Oh, we got no problem with that. But
okay.
Okay, we'll somehow get 8 Wii U's together.
From what we had from the last Smash, the big Smash, the Street Pass UK one, there was, I think, at least 15 to 20 Wii U's. So I think they'll have enough setups for it. So.
Yeah. Speaking of the Street Pass UK podcast, there hasn't been one in ages. Like
some technical issues.
Yeah,
technical issues. That's as far as I'm going.
Yeah. But hopefully they'll get it up and running again soon. If I can find out any more, I'll let you know.
I think it could be fun if that was true. And I think we may have to do this at some point, this may be a thing. We may be doing a podcast whilst playing a game, like Mario Kart 7 or 8 or something.
That could just be a rage cast, though, the whole time.
Exactly, but that's fun.
If you've heard us play Mario Kart.
We'll just be shouting about blue shells and stuff the whole time.
Yeah, I think the better way to do that would be to do a pre-recording of the game and then have it play while we're doing the podcast without,
Maybe.
That would probably be easy.
We'll work things out like that in the future, but that's
because I'm not being funny, but if we're playing a game while we're podcasting, you are. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. You're going to constantly be, we'll be talking, and then you'll constantly be hearing this. That's going to get very irritating. So.
That's the sound of Jay's thumbs falling apart. That's just.
Yeah, I don't think there's much news apart from when we next gather.
Street Pass Southampton has an event.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Put in place for Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that.
But there may be a delay on it again, unfortunately. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. If I can tell you any more, I'll put it on the main pages and I'll share it to everyone so they all know. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about it for the podcast. Next time we gather on Skype, I think it could be either a couple of days or on the day of Kirby and the Rainbow Paintbrushes.
Are you going to pick that up on the day, or?
No, because I have to save, or at least hold back money for Splatoon.
Okay, that's cool.
So I'm going to wait. In order to get money from places after exams, You know, I'll
Fair
probably get that, Yoshi, and maybe Yoshi, and maybe Codename Steam, as well as I'm trying to pick up a lot of other games and other stuff as well. Yeah, it should be a very good couple of weeks. And next time is the 5th episode, so
Hey.
yeah. So that's something to look forward to.
Okay.
And with every second we get a second closer to Splatoon, so that's another thing
Yes,
to look
come on.
forward to.
We're nearly there. We're nearly there.
I still need to play Super Mario Kart.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
yeah,
It's gonna
I
take a
cannot
lot.
wait.
Yeah, but it's the time it's gonna take to practice it. 200cc is gonna be a nightmare.
But yeah, that more or less wraps up for episode 4 of Nintendo Podcast System. Thank you all for listening. Bye.
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 Jason.
Bye.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Leave the line.
He said thanks for listening, and then he cut off. I thought he ended cool, and I was like, what? Wait, what? Is that it?
Hello and welcome to the 4th episode of the Nintendo Podcast System with me, Matthew, and joining me is Gawny, Sam, and Jason.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, where's Jason?
Oh, he's dropped. Oh dear.
Keeping this in, no, like back of the podcast, like a little bonus.
Yeah, that's going to be annoying.
Oh,
You're in.
right, you're here.
Yeah, my internet's not being reliable recently.